Designed with the help of barista champions and professionals, Nuova Simonelli's Mythos 1 is an all-around redesign of what an espresso grinder should be. From its minuscule grinder tension to revolutionary Clima Pro technology, the Mythos 1 is packed with features that will make it your new favorite espresso grinder. Hey folks, it's Steve with Prima Coffee here. In front of me I have the Nuova Simonelli Mythos 1. Now, this is a kind of a top-of-the-line espresso grinder. It's been getting a lot of praise over the last couple of years because it's got some really awesome features packed in that make it a really standout espresso grinder. So this is a commercial espresso grinder. It's got a slightly different footprint than most other espresso grinders because there's a few different things going on in here that make it just really exceptional in terms of how it's constructed and what the results you're going to get out of it are. Up top, we've got a 2.8 pound bean hopper. Again, this isn't really your conventional, large hemispherical hopper. This is more of just a tapered hopper. It's got a shut off here. You can open and close. When it is when it is opened and mounted in the grinder, you actually can't pull the hopper out. It's sort of just kind of a safety catch. Down below, we have a 75 millimeter steel flat burr set. And those burrs are coated in titanium, so they are a little more hardy. They'll stay sharper and more durable for longer. And they're mounted in such a way that there's a very short path from the hopper to the burrs, and an even shorter path from the burrs out the spout into your portafilter. There's a little bit of an auger in here. And you notice there's this wire coming down and kind of a lot of mass in front of the burrs here. And that is because the Mythos 1 uses what Nuova Simonelli calls the Clima Pro technology. Inside here is a heating element. And in the back of the grinder near the motor and on the side are two fans. So that heating element and the fans and ducting system work together in concert to keep a very, very static temperature in the grinding chamber all throughout the day, no matter what your volume is. So first thing when you switch the grinder on in the morning, that heating element is going to fire up. It's going to get the grinding chamber between 35 and 45 degrees Celsius. And throughout the day, as you start grinding coffee, let's say you have a morning rush, that sort of thing, the fans are going to kick in and they're going to try and keep it cool within that same range. And what that means for your coffee is that it's going to be a more consistent product. Generally with espresso grinders, because there's so much friction and such big beefy motors, and especially when you're having a lot of customers come in and order espresso drinks, you're going to see a lot of heating, and once those rushes die down, cooling as well. And that means that the metal parts are going to have some thermal expansion going on. Your grind consistency is going to go up and down throughout the day. So by managing the thermal environment where the grinding happens and where the beans are interacting with the burrs, the Mythos 1 is able to produce more consistent shots throughout the day, regardless of volume. Right here we have a micrometric adjustment knob. It's very, very easy to adjust just with one hand, so you don't have to wrestle with a collar as you might in some other grinders. Really, really very easy to precisely dial in where you need your coffee to be. Down here we have portafilter forks. There's actually an upper fork as well, so you can do hands-free, just slide your portafilter in, let it do its thing. We have the Momentary Switch for actuating the grinder. Right here, the spout is a little bit unique. It actually has a membrane right below the burrs, and that membrane basically looks like fingers interlocking. And they break up the clumps of your grinder, which creates a very, very fluffy, consistent grind. And the grind retention here as well, between the edge of the burrs, which are basically right behind this metal, and that membrane, is so small that you're seeing a grind retention of about 1 to 2 grams, almost nothing at all. Grinding is exceptionally simple. I have one of my pre-selects here, but if I want to, I can choose one of my 3 pre-selects. These can be programmed in as well. I can also grind continuously, so if I just want to grind 2 seconds or so, I can. And you'll see the grind quality, again, is very, very fluffy. It's a little sandy. It's well managed. There aren't very many clumps. And that means that your puck is going to be a much more consistent density as well. You don't have to do too much grooming before you're able to tamp. Now, the North American version of the Mythos 1 is slightly different from the European version. Now, this is the Mythos 1, the Clima Pro. The front badge does not say that, and that's an important point. All of the internals, everything is the same. Again, we have that Clima Pro technology, but the faceplate is this shield shape, and we have 5 buttons here as opposed to the Europe's just 3 buttons where they have a time down, time up, and continuous grinding. So we actually have the 3 presets plus continuous grinding. The other really main difference is that we get a grinds tray, removable grinds tray. The Clima Pro in Europe does not have that. It just has a flat base on the bottom. Otherwise, again, everything internally is the same. We just have some superficial differences, as well as a little bit of an increase in functionality because we do get the settings for programmable time dosing. So that is the Mythos 1 Clima Pro by Nuova Simonelli. Thanks for watching.